everyone. Welcome to the latest episode of Insights from the PM's Desk. I'm Brian Marcus, Head of Cross-Platform Investing at Carlyle Global Credit. And today I'm joined by Deputy CIO of Global Credit, Justin Plouffe, and incoming CFO of Carlyle. Justin, how does it feel being on the other side of the coin here?
It's a little different, Brian. It's easier to ask the questions than to answer them, so we'll see how I do.
I know that's why I'm here, and you're in the tough seat. So getting started, Justin, you've been here at the firm close to 20 years now, and you've been in the credit markets for that entire time. What has happened over that period of time?
So it's really about the expansion of the solutions that are now available to borrowers. When I started, private credit was really about lending to mezzanine borrowers or perhaps investing in distressed borrowers. There was also a syndicated bank loan market that was a few $100 billion in size, but really not that meaningful to the overall economy. Today, the syndicated market is $1.7 trillion in size, and the type of solution that private credit provides really covers the full capital stack. It can be a senior loan, a junior loan, it can be equity-like structured equity. The number of solutions that we can now provide to borrowers through private credit has really expanded massively.
You touched upon a few different things there in the industry, but when you first got here to Carlyle almost 20 years ago, you were in our CLO business, which is our largest business. But maybe you can touch upon what has happened with our platform over your tenure here.
Well, we've expanded the breadth of what we do significantly. As you said, we were primarily a CLO manager when I started at Carlyle, and frankly, after the financial crisis, that's the vast majority of what we did. But then starting about 8-9 years ago, we really started to build out different capabilities. And today, if you look at our platform, we can provide certainly senior loans to borrowers, but we also have junior capital solutions to corporates, but also lending against hard assets, things like infrastructure, aircraft. And our fastest growing business today is the asset-backed finance platform, where we're tapping into a market of tens of trillions of dollars of ABS securities that used to be really only the purview of banks. Today, there's a huge amount of private capital pointed at that area, and we're one of the leaders there.
So when you think about sort of that progress that's been made over the last 20 years, what has surprised you the most?
I think it's the performance of the asset class. After the financial crisis, there was a period where interest rates were very low. So of course borrowers weren't going to default. But I would have told you that when interest rates eventually rose, you would have seen more distress in the markets. You would have seen companies have a more difficult time. But what we've found is that management teams, private equity sponsors, they were able to adjust to the higher interest rate environment, and that's kept performance across the private credit asset class really quite good. We're coming up to more than 15 years now of really consistent returns for the asset class, and that surprised me a bit.
Yeah, and it's great to see, and I feel like there's so much receptivity in that. But as you think about the further evolution of the asset class, what are you expecting to see here in the future going forward?
Yeah, a couple things. I think, first of all, it's going to go to more geographies. So private credit started in the US. It's largely been a US-based asset class. I think you're going to expand into Europe. You're going to see more activity in Asia. And then I think you're going to continue to see expansion into new areas. I just mentioned asset-backed finance. I think that's a big growth area for the private credit asset class, and there'll be more to come.
So you talked a bit about the market, but obviously there's been a huge evolution as we've become a $200 billion global asset manager in the credit space. What are you most excited for, and what are you looking for us to unlock going forward here at Carlyle?
Well, I'm really excited for the growth prospects of our platform. We've spent the last 8 years or so really building out our capabilities. So hiring teams, establishing a track record in some of the newer areas of the private credit universe. We've now done that. We're part of the flow in all of these areas. We're known to borrowers as a preferred lender. And so I think the ability to scale all of those different aspects of our platform really poises us for growth and is going to make us really valuable to investors who are looking to access new areas of private capital. We're now positioned to really offer the full universe of private credit to our investors.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And when we think about offering those different exposures to different people, I'm excited about it as well. Justin, thank you for joining us on that side of the table. We'll hope to have you here in the future. And thanks everyone for joining us on the latest episode of Insights from the PM's Desk.